Let's Startup speech without mentioning the lead coaches that we had for half a year through this program for the second cohort. We had six people that were supporting all the startups. Separately, they had several startups responsible, and I just want to say thank you to Nadia, to Karina, to Zane, to Camelia, to Rita, and to Svetlana, who were behind the scenes, who were supporting startups on their half a year journey, and and helping them with all the questions. On this note, we're officially starting the pitching part. Woohoo! And we have the first startup coming. We have the first startup. Yes, the first startup is ready. Perfect. Amygdala Health, the floor is yours.
It works. So, hello everybody. I'm Hannah, founder of Amygdala, and at Amygdala we are delivering a lifestyle change. Did you know there is over 50 million of Europeans who suffer from some kind of heart diseases? And of course this is costly. Just annually, companies lose over 120 billion in lost productivity from heart diseases. And what are the causes of these diseases? It's actually bad behavior, low physical activity, bad diet, skipping medicines. We provide solution. Amygdala is an AI-driven behavioral digital lifestyle modification program for heart disease patients powered by behavioral science. We help users make changes in their habits such as diet, activity levels, weight, using behavioral science and artificial intelligence. And as a result, we deliver an estimated 35% increase in productivity. We onboard users with different data inputs, and our algorithms create personalized programs for each and every user. And in a period of 3 months, with a different mix of behavioral interventions, our users start changing their old bad habits to new, healthier. And we have the right team. Our team is comprised of scientists and software developers. I'm a 3-times founder with 1 exit, and other team members have domain expertise in behavioral economics and artificial intelligence. And we have worked successfully over the past 5 years. The global market is huge. In our target markets of Germany and the Netherlands, there is more than 300 million worth, and the cost will double by 2030. When we analyze competition, there are some players, but we are different, as our unique combination of behavioral science and artificial intelligence leads to key success metrics, both for the end user and for the payer. And our program leads to gender-based effective approach. In terms of the business model, we operate in a B2B market where we target private companies and insurances, and through subscription-based and performance-based pricing. And we use both direct and indirect customer acquisition channels, and currently we actually, our ideal customer profile is a company of 50 to 250 in size, and it is in IT or logistics. And let's talk about traction and sales. This year, we have increased our sales by 70%, and we reduced our customer acquisition costs. And we are on this growing trajectory path where we actually plan to target larger insurances such as Allianz and Munich Re, and bigger corporates. And so we need more capital. So we plan to raise our next funding in Q1 of 2026, where we are planning to raise 750K. And let's talk about EmpoWomen achievements. So in terms of the growth, we have increased our sales and reduced our customer acquisition costs. We have completed Climate Kick Tech Accelerator. We have signed a few long-term partnerships with healthcare organizations. We have built an AI agent, Amiga, that actually uses solely scientifically validated resources to advise users, and we have enlarged our team. In the end, I would like to invite you on this journey where we have potential to transform millions of lives in Europe. Thank you.
The floor is with the jury. You have 5 minutes for the questions.
Oh.
5
5?
minutes.
Oh,
You can use less, but not more.
Okay, since I was already speaking, I'll just kick things off. Thank you for the pitch. I think you did a wonderful job there. Let's address the elephant in the room. So, an app trying to adjust in a positive way my habits. You already have some, well, pilots, right? You have already piloted it. What are the results of that? How likely are people to actually change their habits based on an app? And to expand the question even further, what's kind of your special sauce of how you can actually do that? Because it's incredibly hard, right?
True. So we know human behavior is tough, and there are so many solutions, right, that are trying to push you in some direction. However, our results show that with this use of behavioral science, so we know that people are predictably rational. With this secret sauce of using predictability that one user will go this direction if we use different nudges, we actually deliver on average, so with what we have for over 1,500 users, 65% success rate for them to change their habits. And the secret sauce is this behavioral science that is personalized per each user. So Sam is different from Mary. It's not just the gender. I might be more loss averse than somebody else. So I will, our programs or our algorithms will actually use different nudges for Sam in comparison to Mary to deliver results. And of course, the more use, the more we know you. So we know what works or what doesn't work in comparison to other solutions.
Thank you. I'll be a good jury member, and I share the mic with others. So.
Okay, cool. We talk.
Maybe you can tell us more about the clients you have now, how hard it was to get to those clients, and what's next?
Sure. Health tech is, as we all know, it's a validation is slow, and it takes time. So our first clients were acquired by either warm intros or cold outreach. So these were companies that we know somebody who knew somebody, so that was a high success rate was higher. And for cold outreach, there were IT companies. So usually our first point would be HR, and then later CFO, who has the budget, who decides whether they go with us or not. And the sales cycle is quite, let's say, fast if they say yes or no. Future plans, yes. So as we are on this growing path, we have already started talks with these big insurances, and we need more capital for that. So Allianz and Munich Re, I mean, as such, they are interested, but we need a solution that is more safe, that is more adjusted to the internal systems, and we need to add more people in terms of the development and sales as well. Woohoo!
Yeah, thank you for the pitch. Very interesting solution. I just wanted to ask you to elaborate more on your investment strategy. How are you preparing? What's your strategy to secure a round?
Yeah, so being a previous founder, we do like bootstrapping. Yeah, and in terms of the bootstrapping, I think we have reached the point where we need to go to raise the capital. So we, in terms of the strategy, as our target markets are Germany and the Netherlands, we have already started talking with the funds that are in this vertical, so health tech funds, And definitely there are other markets like the Asian and US where there is availability of capital, but it is Europe and mostly that region where we actually, where our clients are based. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Georgia with a long route. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. So, I will take you on a voyage, and I'm going to speak about the most important tool a captain can have in order to guide a ship like this one safely to its destination. And that is precise knowledge of future marine weather conditions along the route. And that's where we come in. We provide the best predictions of future conditions at sea, helping operators make the best decisions for safer and efficient voyages while also reducing emissions. Shipping contributes nearly 3% of global emissions, which makes it the 6th largest emitter. Now regulations are tightening, forcing fleet operators to optimize routes and drastically reduce emissions. Route optimization seems easy, just guide the ship to avoid challenging conditions like this system. That is true, but only if the prediction matches reality, and in most cases it doesn't. Marine weather forecasting is the weakest link, with 50% of 7-day forecasts failing to predict critical sea state conditions. Human applied math and physics cannot capture correlations between ocean processes, and that causes significant uncertainty in existing products. Without certainty in forecasts, ship routing is almost blind, leading to safety risks, missed opportunities for efficiency, and tons of money lost. Our system delivers up to 20% more accurate marine weather forecasts than industry standards such as Copernicus, especially for intense sea states, over long forecast horizons and in high resolutions. And these are the most significant shortcomings of traditional models. This advantage puts us ahead of competition in terms of accuracy, but also in terms of efficiency and deep scientific expertise. We smartly integrate data from reliable sources, as you can see on the left, to reconstruct past and present conditions at sea. We then deploy the most appropriate AI models, which overcome the complexity of physics to accurately predict sea states. Our accurate data goes easily into customer routing systems like this one, boosting their performance by up to 130% compared to today. Better routing means fuel efficiency, which means emissions reduction per voyage. So we are essentially reducing global CO2 with highly accurate marine weather forecasts. Route optimization is just the start. Many segments within the dynamically growing market of maritime intelligence are craving for accuracy in marine weather data, such as insurance and offshore energy. Today, our go-to-market is based on targeted networking and founder-led direct sales, paving our entry into high-value customer segments across Europe and globally. Supporting our vision and goals is our full-time, gender-balanced team, which brings more than 90 years of combined experience in business, innovation, oceanography, AI, physics, remote sensing, geomatics, and data science. Led by our CTO, who is an experienced engineer, we are developing all deep tech processes internally, so all IP belongs to a long route. When we started EmpoWomen, we have just finished our first paid pilot in Greece. By fully engaging to the program, we have achieved 100% of the goals and KPIs set in the beginning, and we've seen amazing breakthroughs in our commercial maturity, product excellence, and investment readiness. During the program, we have expanded the team. We have signed a 3-year contract with the leading voyage optimization vendor in Greece, bringing an MRR of 3,000 euros. We are co-developing a new product with one of the biggest microsatellite companies in Europe, and we are in mature discussions for 3 more agreements. So now, we are negotiating a term sheet with interested investors, aiming to close our 1 million pre-seed round by the end of the year. This will help us grow fast and steadily become a global leader in marine weather intelligence. We have the team, we have the knowledge, and we have the solution. We are a long route, and we are set to guide every mile. Thank you.
Thank you for the pitch. Can we oversimplify the solution for somebody who's not an expert into weather forecasting industry? So you have the historical inputs basically in the weather model. and then you're using AI to improve the forecasting so that like the output actually of the model match whatever came in the first place, right?
Yeah, what we're trying to do is we're taking a different direction that classical numerical forecast model where they model physics. We're using as much data as we can, reliable data coming from satellites, from buoys, from reanalysis. We're building an initial condition layer and a layer for training. We're using the most appropriate AI models which can sort of learn physics without actually coding them. And so we've seen amazing progress in the accuracy when we're comparing our forecasts with measurements coming from satellites, like near satellite measurements.
Okay, thank you. The question was with a twist. So what stops better funded, better forecasting companies from doing exactly this? What's your moat?
Yeah, basically what we produce is data and it's coming in formats that are actually used in the industry. So nobody can really kind of reverse engineer what we're doing just from the format of the data. We have a very, very strong team. We're combining oceanography with technical guys like AI guys, physics guys, geomatics guys, and that is a very strong advantage when it comes to the approach we're following. That's one. And the second one, that we are ahead of competition in terms of timing. We've seen that people are AI in sort of physical modeling is kind of a hot thing now, but we are a few steps ahead, and we truly believe that we can sort of gain the size of the market that is for us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's continue with all right. I was just curious about the GTM, the go-to-market strategy as well. So who's really the ICP, the ideal customer profile you aim to sell to, and how are you getting to that customer? What's kind of your secret sauce there?
So we've prioritized 6 customer segments for the first 5 years. At the moment, we're focusing to the route optimization segment in Greece, and that's before the investment. Yeah, so we're bootstrapping, we're using a few grants, and basically we're trying to meet the right people in the right places, and we are following direct sales. So we've seen some progress there. However, we have done an analytic go-to-market strategy because now we have investors on the table, and post-investment, we are planning to move from Greece to Europe. We already have some connections in the Netherlands, in Portugal, in Norway, in the UK, so we're planning to expand in Europe, and then gradually in Asia and the US. And obviously, we're going to use more tools, we're going to expand the team, we're going to bring in more people in marketing and sales, we're going to connect with strategic partners and clusters. We already have some connections there. We're going to find sales experts. Again, we have some connections, and we're going to use online tools. But that's all post-investment.
Curious about the fees and the structure that you have right now, the prices on your product.
Yeah. So basically what we do is we sell data, okay? So the pricing is based on the volume of data. We're working with annual contracts, and we're sort of estimating the price based on the number of parameters, the resolutions in space and time. There is basically a best practice for that. We're not reinventing the wheel. So we're looking at around 40 to 100K annual contracts, depending on the volume and the preferences of the customer. And that should bring us to, based on the scenarios we've done, total, very realistic total revenue of 26 million in 5 years.
When it comes to data, it's all usually garbage in, garbage out, right? So are there specific areas on Earth where your solution is more reliable than in others?
That is absolutely true, and that's our motto, basically, and that's why we're focusing a lot. What we're saying is that artificial intelligence is not actually our edge. Our edge is the fact that we're trying to build an enriched layer of conditions that we can try safely and train safely our models. So yes, you're right, there are some areas like close to the poles, but that's not very bad because ships don't sail there. So we're getting very good coverage around the equator or where we have heavily traveled routes because there is a good quality coverage of satellite measurements, so we are right there.
Thank you. And we have Velesens and Marina. The floor is yours.
Just to... Okay.
Hi, I'm Marina, CTO of VelaSense, where we are developing AI-based solutions for stress detection in vineyards. There are different causes of stress in vineyards, including diseases or lack of nutrition and water, which makes them very hard to identify. At the same time, ground-based monitoring is a long process, which asks for more workers in the field. Recently, due to climate change, we noticed a shift in a season start, which creates a lot of problems with logistics and planning. For instance, if the temperature increases for only 2 degrees Celsius, it can lead to destruction of more than 50% of worldwide regions. You also should keep in mind that not all diseases are equally deadly. Some of them, such as Pasca, can create damage estimated to 8 to 9 billions of euros per year. So vineyards owners cannot afford delays, and that is why we are offering a solution for detecting diseases and detecting of lack of nutrition and water. How we do it? We are improving perspective by combining drone imaging with close-range sensing, and we are detecting subtle changes before they are visible to the naked eye. For detection of water stress, we use thermal cameras on a drone. Our solution can save up to 1,060 euros per hectare, can foster vineyard monitoring, can improve time frame for disease mitigation, and can lower dependency on scarce manual labor. The team behind VelaSense has 3 core team members. I have more than 18 years of experience in digital image processing. Mariana has hands-on experience in IP technology transfer, and Žarko has vast experience in sales and marketing. Currently, we are based in Serbia, where we collaborate with 20 wineries, and next we plan to go to Italy, Portugal, Spain, and France, because these 4 countries in total have more than 36% of worldwide regions. Our go-to-market strategy includes close collaboration with wine associations and agronomists in these 4 countries. Our business model is twofold. For data acquisition in Serbia, we use our own drone, but for data acquisition internationally, we are collaborating with drone service providers. Data processing is cloud-based. We know most of our competition in person, we met them in person. Where we differ is that we are the only one using two-way perspective, and we are the only one detecting Pasca. Until now, we raised more than 300,000 euros through grants, and now we are asking for 600,000 euros for future 2 years and the strategic advisor. To show how we spend some of this grant money, so during the EmpoWomen program, we developed completely new feature for detection of water stress. In order to do this, we acquired images for more than 50 hectares. And at the end, we generated 4 full stress reports we showed to vineyard owners, and we got a positive feedback. We are now participating in 3 acceleration programs, 1 in Serbia, 1 in Portugal, and 1 in Spain, so the target countries. We attended 2 major wine events where we talked with more than 50 wineries representatives, and we started negotiation with 4 drone service providers. We submitted proposals for 3 projects, and we contacted 11 agri-tech investors. We got feedback from 3, and we scheduled a meeting with 1. And finally, we created 2 completely new tools for visualization of our results that we can show to vineyard owners who are not tech savvy. Thank you, and together we can make vineyards stress-free.
When you're using your own drones, are you supplying resident drones, or you're just going there in person and flying them?
It can be both. So we have quite strict rules how you need to fly with the drones. So they need to be, altitude, some settings of the drone. We have in-house 2 drone pilots. So CEO is a drone pilot, and also one of our collaborators. So in Serbia, it's let's say, more practical if we go in person, because this is how we also can collect more data and analyze data in the field. Of course, I mean, in order to spread through Europe, we need a collaboration with drone service providers. And that's a thing that we do. Just to mention, DJI in last year analysis, DJI is the biggest producer of drones in the world. They mentioned that there is 400,000 agricultural drones in use, and it's increasing. So there are drones to be used, and there are companies doing services for drone imaging.
Thank you for the presentation. I wanted to ask you to explain more about your sales strategy and what are the sales, like how did you achieve them so far? Last season,
when we are talking about agri-tech, we are focusing on seasons. So for us, season is June, July, and August. Last season, we finished our first validation of our first product, and we did 6 pilots, unpaid, and we finished the water stress detection feature, let's say. And the strategy, because vineyard owners are traditional, so the digital marketing is not really helpful in this case. So what we do, we are building a relationship, and we are doing this from the start. We are doing direct contact on wine fairs and also directly going, but we are also, let's say, using our partners who are agronomists, and I think I didn't mention, but until now we have a close collaboration with the viticulture expert, who is a full professor, and with 6 agronomists. And usually they are the ones who are spreading the word about our solution. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for the pitch. Well, I don't want to generalize too much, but VCs in general like very nicely scalable projects, yes. Right? Well, let's assume you can do that. You will scale across wineries in Europe and world. What are the main bottlenecks that you foresee? And I love that we already started talking about the drone service providers, yes. Because that's part of the answer, I guess, but there are many more steps in the whole, yes. Let's call it service or product. Yes. So how scalable is it? What are the main bottlenecks and how you will solve them?
Okay, so the first one is seasonality. So that's obvious thing when we are talking about agri-tech. Our season is quite short. So the first thing that we are now developing is that we are starting contacted potential partners who are on the south hemisphere, so where the season is opposite than us, so we can increase the market. The other thing that is quite important is to have, because of the traditionality of the market, is to have a partner in the, let's say, country where we want to spread. And for us, the first 2 countries that we will tackle will be Portugal and Italy, because we lived in both Portugal and Italy, we speak both languages. And we already have the meeting that we will have with the VC is the Sograp, it's the biggest winery in Portugal, which is also VC fund. So we would need in every country to have a strategic advisor in order to scale up. So it would be, and this is true for all agri-tech, I think, it would be difficult to scale up from Serbia just like, you know, using emails or something.
Makes perfect sense. Yes. And how labor intensive is the actual, well, analysis part of the data and visualizing everything? How much automated is it?
It's full automated now. The labor intensive part was collecting data in order for us to train the solution. And it took us 3 years. So, yeah.
What's your long-term vision for the product? You plan to become the best in the vineyard industry, or you can switch to cereal crops or something like that?
So cereal maybe not, but other, let's say, like olive trees or fruit trees. So the thing is, it can scale. We are now focusing to vineyards because we want to focus to solve one problem, mostly because of the data that you need to collect. We are now doing services, but our final goal is to create a software that can be adjusted to by adding data, adjust it to other crops, and sell to other companies, hardware or software companies.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And yes, we have Mariam with Vazit, the next one.
Farmers in Africa can grow food, but they can't grow wealth. More than 70% of African farmers farm less than 5 hectares, but they have a cash flow problem. They need to finance their season upfront and wait 4 to 6 months without any income. So most of them end up relying on informal loans. And without access to the right credit, these farmers are unable to invest in quality seeds or the latest technologies, and that keeps them trapped in a cycle of survival. My name is Miriam, and I'm the founder of WASIT. And at WASIT, we step in to bring in a financing model built for the agricultural cycle. We enable a revenue sharing model, and we do this on 3 levels. First, we aggregate the farmers into clusters. Second, we finance step by step based on the actual progress of each project. And third, the harvest is sold through partner buyers, which enables a transparent revenue sharing between the farmers and their funders. This model already exists in rural Africa, but we're building the technology to scale it. So we built an AI agent that continuously checks in with the farmers before the project and during the project to collect data on the project progress, images, text in local language, audio. This data is then analyzed and structured to bring simple project progress updates. These insights is what helps us automatically enable have funding decisions and supports our reliable forecast for our partner buyers. We are financing agriculture projects, and so we identify 3 main risks: human, market, and climate. And so based on this data we're also building an ecosystem of strategic partners that support our farmers and their project throughout the whole cycle, from selection to guidance to the market and to the climate risk as well. Currently, we earn when our farmers earn, so we take a percentage of the revenue of each project, but we're looking at a milestone of 100 hectares where we can unlock new revenue streams, looking at suppliers, aggregators, as well as the investors. And we're looking at a 5 billion euros market opportunity, and our target is 10 million euros over the next 4 years, considering 1,000 euros annual revenue per farmer. There are multiple players in the field in financing farmers, but the way we deploy our financing is at project level, which means we combine input, advisory, as well as market access. And that means when our farmers win, we all win. And we have the right team in place. We combine more than 30 years of experience in product, data, as well as agriculture. And over the last 6 months, and with the EmpoWomen program, we've been able to launch our MVP, both the AI agent as well as the dashboard displaying insights. We deployed a pilot of 4 different projects, and we have more than 20 farmers onboarded for the next season. And we signed an MOU with the bank, Crédit Agricole, as well as we're in discussions with off-takers and input suppliers to enable us to scale in the upcoming season. And currently, we are raising 250,000 euros for 18 months to reach 500 farmers by 2027. Our mission at WASIT is simple. We aim to unlock the full value of small-scale farms so that they don't disappear. If this mission speaks to you, let's talk.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. What's your go-to-market strategy, customer acquisition?
Our go-to-market strategy is pretty much this ecosystem of partners that we are building. So whether it's to target farmers, we're targeting them through the aggregators we're talking to, and as well as governmental programs and input suppliers. So it's more all together. Then with the financing part, we are looking at the institutional partners like the bank, but we are also partnering with crowdfunding partners to raise money for these farmers. And unfortunately, we added the 3-ways marketplace, so now we also are speaking to off-takers and these aggregators to enable the full cycle both getting farmers the financing and the markets where they sell.
Awesome. Thank you for the pitch. Before we jump into any other questions, can we dissect the product a bit? I would love to hear your kind of thought process on why the clustering part of farmers and how does it exactly work?
The clustering part is for the economics to make sense. Because our target farmers are the ones farming 1 to 5 hectares, and for our advisory costs and for all the off-takers, it makes more sense if we're doing 10 hectares at once. So we cluster the farmers that are near each other so that they do the same product, and the costs of managing them make sense.
Okay, so the clusters are based on the location. And you assess the credit risk for the whole cluster, not an individual project.
Yes, we first evaluate at the farmer level, at the field level, and then at the cluster level means the product. So are they doing onions, potatoes? Does it make sense for the location?
Okay, interesting. And last question from my side. I heard about couple of things that you evaluate during the credit risk assessment process. So there was, I think, text, audio, something else as well. Can you break down those things? What are really the inputs you use to assess credit risk for a specific project?
Yeah, so we're currently in text, but we plan to have images and audio as well. And it's about the project. So when we start with the farmer, the project of potatoes, they don't get the full financing at once. And so throughout the project, our AI agent is checking how is this going, how is that going, and then we're collecting the data. This data is compared to what is supposed to be based on what we know of the project, but is also compared to the cluster of the other farmers. And that's how we know we can unlock the next part. So they get 1,000, then if everything is...
So it's purely based on whatever the farmer hands in.
Is reporting, yes. But because we've built the dashboard first for our advisors to do more of audits. So we still have freelance advisors per each location so that they go and then they do an audit of the reported data.
Have you thought, and I'm sure you have, about like incorporating, let's say, satellite data, data on like fertility of the soil in that region, some other inputs as well?
Yes, definitely. And I was even speaking to Marina before on what else we can have to, at scale, to be integrating. So whether it would be drones, images, or satellite data, definitely that's in the plans, but not yet.
Got it. Thank you.
Maybe you can detail the profile of the investor that you're going to bring for these farmers and what's in it for them.
The investors, our first target is the diaspora. We're also looking at, we're now piloting in Morocco, so we're looking at Moroccans abroad, then Senegalese abroad, but we're also targeting impact investors. Mainly, you're working a corporate job, you have money in the bank, you want to...
And you have a minimum, a maximum amount of investment?
So through our crowdfunding partners, their minimum is the crowdfunding platform minimum. And we're also looking at banks to finance this as well.
And the return for them?
We don't promise an exact return, but the estimation should be about 6%. The returns will always be based on the performance of the projects. It should be around 6% in 6 months. So just to clarify.
Thank you so much. That is
6% per season.
Yes. Yeah.
6% per season.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Helios, Gisem, the floor is yours.
Okay. So, hi, I'm Gizem, founder of Helios. Helios is a climate tech startup where we develop advanced materials to capture CO2 from industrial facilities. We are from a country that produces more cement than half of Europe combined, Turkey. Turkey is the 4th largest cement producer in the world, and this sector alone is responsible for 80% of global emission. And cement is just one example. Aluminium, iron, steel, and power are not different. Yet the clock is ticking. We have timeline for 2030. That's why we work with metal organic frameworks. in short version, long metal MOFs. These cage-like structure that can capture CO2 from industrial facilities specifically. Think of them as ultra-precise sponge, trap and capture gas molecule inside of it. Here you see how our system works. We have 2 absorption columns filled with our material and connected to facility. And there you see the flue gas flow. The red circles are CO2 and the blue circles are other flue gas molecules. Red circles are absorbed at the first column and the other gas molecules just pass through. Once the first one is filled, the second one is started to absorb. Meanwhile, the first one is release the CO2. Then we can achieve continuous flow system. The first one is captured, the second one is released. The second one is captured, the first one is released, and so on. Carbon capture market is expected to reach $17 billion by 2030. And Turkey is leader in the high emission sectors. And we are the only startup that focus on carbon capture technologies. Existing technologies are amine and zeolite-based solution. But these solutions need high regeneration energy and they are unreliable in the industrial condition. Therefore, we position ourselves with MOFs there. Our business model based on column installation and basically it's material sale. You can think of them as a washing machine and detergent. We will raise soon to expand our R&D and we are actively looking partners for POC. We are 7 people. Here you see our core team members. We also have advisors from both academia and industry. Lastly, our traction during EmpoWomen program. We joined our first global event at Hello Tomorrow Paris. Then we just get out of the laboratory to the real site, real industrial site. And we started to visit the global players like Turkish Airlines, Tüpraş, and Çimsa from Turkey. We secured $50K from one of the best foundation from Turkey for the business part. And I found a co-founder. I started this journey as a solo founder, then we found a co-founder. Although this picture is AI, but she's not, she's sitting there. Besides that, thanks to program, thanks to our mentors, we realized that we don't have to wait until get scale to sell our product. We started to sell our product in the lab scale. So we got quotation from Spain, Qatar, South Korea, and United States. And lastly, we just accepted from GCIP as acceleration program. We are ready for cleaner, sustainable future, and we invite you to build it with us. Thank you.
Thank you for the pitch. My question, I guess, will be somewhat complicated since you're very early still in like the whole development phase and commercializing phase. But when we talk about projects like these, it's super important. What's the payback period for the end customer who will actually use it? And obviously there are like many variables involved, starting from your pricing to your costs to actually how the end customer is incentivized to capture carbon, because that's like a key piece in the puzzle, right?
Yes.
But I'm really curious on like hearing your thought process, and maybe you have an guesstimate.
So. First of all, we started to sell our material in gram scale. So we can produce at lab scale a couple of grams. One can use this material for gas storage, gas purification. We are upgrading the material for the carbon capture. But we also met some people from cement producer, aluminum producer. For the POC, at least we need a 1 kilogram material to show it's really capturing, it's really working. Yes, the lab scale, it's working for the lab. But you know, it's completely different in the environmental condition. So we need at least 1 kilogram. We need to scale up, and yes. But there is some competitors who already started to use that material to capture CO2.
Got it. So I guess if you distill my question, it's about will it make economical sense for the end customer?
Yes, for sure. For instance, from 1 kilogram, one can capture 40 ton per year. So if they don't capture the CO2, they have to pay at least $70 per ton. So,
thank you.
Can you please detail a little bit about the team and the expertise you have?
Here you see our core team. So I'm the founder, I'm chemist. Gizem, also co-founder, she's chemist, but she has an MBA working on the project business development. And CTO, İlker. İlker works both in the wet lab and the computational part. Our differences from the other companies that we use computational chemistry to find the best materials for that industry. So we can customize the materials, we can produce the tailor-made material for this purpose.
And the three of you are fully working on this?
Yes. And we have a material scientist, chemist again, and also the one who graduated from economy. So mix of these two, the research and the business part. So.
Thank you for the pitch. I find your solution very innovative, so congratulations for that and for the whole strategy. I just wanted to challenge you to explain in just one sentence, how is your solution better in terms of environmental and sustainability terms than the competitors? How would you pitch it with one sentence? How is it more sustainable, more environmentally protective?
We can customize, we can modify our materials. Therefore, we can produce different material for the cement factory, different material for aluminium, different material for iron. But traditional methods, you have just zeolites or amine solution. So you have to put that material to every companies, every producers. That's why one company captures CO2 a lot, the other one is just, not much. But with the material, with that material, we can customize, we can modify. That's the key. Do
you have a license for patent?
No, actually, because we also discussed that. If we got IP for the procedure, one can easily copy because of the protocol will publish. So we will hide rather than publish. In the chemistry world, it will be better to hide the protocol. Thanks.
Maya, Centrum Cognitio, the floor is yours.
Hi.
You need.
Hi, I'm Maya. I'm a psychologist and a psychotherapist with more than 15 years experience in private practice and public health. And I also, do you hear me? And I also had mental health disorder when I was a child. So during my life experience and during my practice, I see something. There's a lot of information that are hidden. So mental health disorders are hidden. And for example, someone who is at high risk to do a suicide, he doesn't talk about that. And many experts didn't recognize it even in psychotherapy sessions. And when Tina comes, Tina detects these verbal and non-verbal cues of communications that are hidden, and it connects with other information from patients that are we collecting. and then put a recommendation after the session to the therapist what he could do better or what he had missed. We are the right mix of science, innovation, and passion. We have more than 15 years experience in the fields from IT sector, AI, and mental health. We have B2B subscription models, and our sweeter spot customers are young experts and clinics and institutions that are trained new mental health professionals. So we started 4 years ago our startup, and last year we launched our first product. It's CRM for psychotherapists. We now have 20 customers in Slovenia and 3 strong pilot clinics who are using this CRM and also testing new AI recommendation system. And at the end, by this year, we will expand in Poland. There's a lot of competitors, especially in the CRM space for psychotherapists, but no one provides a recommendation system like Tina. Unfortunately, EU mental health market is rising, and our go-to-market strategy is to gain as much as possible 30 to 40% of clinics for mental health and institutions that are training new mental health professionals. We are looking for 600,000 euros in the beginning of the next year. We will start fundraising, and we already secured 100 euros from business angel from Slovenia. And during this EmpoWomen program, we gain 100% of our goals. We apply for patent, and we are preparing for medical device certification. We have also been accepted in some accelerators, Phil Rouge Capital, and we are preparing for the EIC pre-accelerator. And we have been selected for Google for startups. So we help therapists that they can help the world. If you feel us, let's connect.
Thank you so much for the pitch, Maya. Let's kick things off with data privacy. How do you handle patient data? I mean, even though like implementing AI in healthcare and mental health in general, that's a no-brainer. Obviously, there are like so many benefits, but patient data is very sensitive. So how do you handle that?
Yes, of course, we have a strong cybersecurity. I don't know if I describe how, but we have 2 servers for very sensitive medical data and one for other data from patients. We also have end-to-end encryptions, and we anonymized every data. We have data protection person from outside, and that's it. Yes.
Okay. What LLMs do you use to actually do all that what you have just described? Where does the LLM actually live? On your premises, on customers' servers, or?
Okay, we have a Llama on our servers. Our servers are on Amazon for medical data. Got it.
Would it be impossible or difficult to run the LLM on the customers' servers?
No. It's a good decision, especially for the clinics, because they have their own servers. Yes, it could be transferred.
Thank you.
The clients of your customers are aware that your customer are using this application during the therapy session?
For these who are already in use, yes. They are not, because there are some some psychotherapies, for example, psychoanalysis, that you should record the session, or because you should you should go word by word what is going in the last session, and you should explain it to supervisor and so on. So something like that is already going on.
Okay. And who is actually paying for your solution? Is the therapist or the clinic, and how much?
Therapist and clinic. For clinics, we have enterprise because there are because there are groups, and for private practitioners, we have some packages. 30 and 50 is now available. Yes, it's a monthly or yearly subscription.
How many clients do you have until now?
20, about 20.
So just to get it right, you have listed a lot of algorithms you've developed already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they all your own IP, or?
Yes, everything is our own IP. Yes, we collaborate with a professor from university, but we pay them.
Any huge success story, case study?
Huge success story to today. We have been selected from a high-C program. It's from EIT Health, one program that we have been selected for success story during the 25 other startups.
Thank you. Joanna, Dynamics, the floor is yours.
In Europe, there are 4 million workers in logistics and retails, and 60% of them are suffering from injuries caused by accumulated physical load and fatigue. Each injury work costs to the enterprise around 10,000 euros in productivity loss and to replace worker, totaling over 200 billion just in European logistics and retails. So how we can manage fatigue before injuries happen? For that, eDynamics presents a digital tech for on-site fatigue analysis and to predict the injury risk, based on digital biomarkers from the foot collected by our proprietary Mārtiņš. Based on these analytics, our AI voice system acts as a personal ergo coach to prevent injury 24/7. The enterprise can access to both individual and group-level analytics using our cloud-based cross-platform dashboard. And this analytics report supports the enterprise to stay compliant with European guidelines for safety workplace, while the ergo coach supports the worker in posture and fatigue management. This combined solution can prevent 20% of the injuries by saving 2,000 euros of annual costs per employee. We operate in a B2B business model of 2 digital services: the analytics as a service with an annual subscription, and the ergo coach as a service with a pay-per-worker business model. While competitors focus on individual human motion analysis using an intrusive setup and providing occasional service to prevent injury, our solution stands out to be able to assess both motion and fatigue analysis across multiple workers and using a less intrusive setup that is easy to plug and play for daily use. On top of that, our ergo coach can prevent injuries 24/7 and scalable across workers. We are a full-time team with real-world experience in AI wearables and digital health. As CEO, I bring my experience leading teams and projects in biomechanics. Simão, our CTO, doctor in medical electronics, he leads the hardware and software developed together with the engineering team, and Kristiana is our AI and electronics scientist. Our solution has potential to scale across sectors, including rehabilitation, sports, and occupational health. And we are now starting with the occupational health sector, which is a larger and more accessible market segment. And in the next 3 years, we aim to achieve 1 million in revenue by supporting 4,000 European workers. We are now raising our pre-seed round to proceed with our customer acquisition journey. So we will to implement paid pilots in logistics and construction sectors, where we are collecting feedback and data so we can secure the IP protection and the certification and launch the product in 9 months in Portugal and Spain. During the EmpoWomen program, we have set a new target market, so we will start with occupational health sector and then expand to sports. We achieve our first revenue from a paid pilot in logistics scenario, and we are also with other pilots close to close in next year. We have completed the MVP of our dashboard and the smart install, and we have the beta version of our AI analytics that were developed using million data points from a logistics scenario. We are now closing the pre-seed round with Core Angels, and we are in final negotiations with Portugal Ventures. We are also in the final stage to raise a non-dilutive grant, and we are now eligible to raise seed funds in research and development in Portugal. The foot is the foundation of human motion. At Dynamics, we empower the health from the ground up. Thank you.
Can't the very same indicators of fatigue be derived from walking asymmetry from the phone or from wearables?
Okay, so we have a smart install that we measure force, plantar pressure, and motion. And based on these sensors, we collect a number of indicators. The key ones are peak pressure, motion asymmetries as well, but the pressure is and the motion force asymmetry as well are key indicators. And these one are key indicators that are different than the ones you can measure using just a device, a gadget that only includes motion sensors. So the force is the key. Why? Because our lower limb muscles are like a spring. If I'm getting tired, the spring ability starts to reduce, and your load on your legs goes for the foot, and you increase the plantar pressure on the foot. This is why we have this key sensor on the foot to measure this increase on the force and the peak pressure.
Nice, thank you for the pitch. I would like to piggyback off my colleague's question and tease some more information out of you. There are solutions on the market which solve the same problem and involve A, having sensors all over your body, B, having a camera monitoring your motions. Do you foresee any limitations in your approach, having just the sensors inserted in shoes?
Yeah, so I came from research, from biomechanics side. I worked 10 years using that kind of sensors that you are talking. And even in research, I work with companies, and this is like in the image, like the sensors. So for instance, this kind of solution, you can put 7 up to 20 sensors on the body. It's not practical for daily use. And even the camera video tracking information, you can just track one worker or two workers at single time. So it is not a scalable solution to assess 1,000 workers on a logistics scenario. And where we introduce with the companies with this solution that is inside the shoe, because no one can see, and the workers are not feel that they are being assessed. So this is a key aspect for the perception of the workers. They are willing to be assessed, but in daily basis, they don't like to have sensors on the body that disturb their works. And even if you cannot see the sensors or cannot see the camera, you don't change your work and the way you are performing your job, because you feel that you are not being assessed. So this is a key aspect. It is a non-intrusive setup that it is discrete. You cannot see.
Okay, thank you. And last question from my side. Well, the industries that you target can be, well, pretty harsh on your foot, basically, especially construction. How durable are the sensors? How durable can you make them, and how expensive are they to replace?
Yeah, so even in logistics and in constructions, the feet can achieve 50 degrees or more or high humidity. Yeah, we already have tested, and even in professional football players as well, so it's a hard condition. We have our sensor cover protected from the temperature, the humidity, ambient. And then we also have the feasibility to collect data without internet connection. So we can go outside for the for the building, in the construction. The data is being collected in offline mode, and then when you go back to the facilities main office, the data is synced in to the station. So we have had that feature because construction has asked us to put on that.
How expensive is one pair?
One pair? Yeah. We are not selling the pairs. We are our business model is in a SaaS base, so we sales reports.
Got it. And how expensive is it to produce one pair?
To produce, at this moment, we are not in the full launch. It's 150.
Not necessarily cheap.
No, but it's not selling for like a device. It's like selling like analytics reports.
Thank you.
Welcome.
How does it go in practice? People come and put the shoes, then leave work and leave the sensors at work?
They already have these kind of solutions for, so these people that go outside for working, there are the ones in logistics, they, for instance, already use this system, if you can see, the voice system. Mm-hmm. Each person has a locker for each self. So they take out the voice system at the beginning of the day. So we put the installs in the same locker. The people put on the...
Yeah, I get it, but when you go to the construction site, for example...
It's the same. They pick up on the beginning of the day from a common facility. They put the shoes that is provided by the manufacturer. And so you put the shoes with the install and you go out and then you return after the day. So this logistics is already performed by themselves.
Thank you for the presentation. Yeah. What is the success rate of your product so far?
In terms of analytics,
satisfaction of the
from the workers. Yeah. From the workers. We have analyzed last Friday a collection of 25 workers on logistics for retailer in Portugal, and they rate 4.5 in a 5 score of comfort. And they, all of them agreed to that device is comfortable to use for a daily work condition. So it is it didn't disturb them. So some one of them, they feel that device, they feel more comfortable than the others ones because the other ones installs are already overused. That's just for this aspect.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. Yes, you would not guess it that we're actually ahead of time. Oh, that is surprising. Even though all the startups had a bit more on the questions, we're still ahead of time. That's the magic. But we have a break now to breathe, to prepare ourselves for the next 7 startups. We have 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, start gathering back, and we'll start sharp. I don't remember. I will tell when. At 7:10. Yes. Hey, hey, yes. And this is the time for us to come back into the room. You are allowed to take your stuff and your food. Please don't chew in front of the startups, but you definitely can drink. And this is the time to take your chairs. Yes. Hello, and this is the time. This is the time. It's the time. It's the time. Sharp timing, sharp timing, sharp timing, sharp timing. Thank you for coming. You're from where?
Yeah, we are from To Perform. We just came to see the.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we joined to see what's new in the startup.
In the world.
Yeah, exactly. So we are starting.
Yes. We're starting. We're way ahead of time, but we don't want to be not behind the time. Shoo. And we are starting. Yes. Perfect. Well, we have jury on place, so that's what we need, right? Dear jury, do you need some water maybe with you? No? It's okay? I'm good. You're good. Perfect. Okay. One more second. All right. So, do I see? Yes. Yes, you're ready? Perfect. All right. We are on time, starting with the next 7 startups. And Karine is opening their second round.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Karine, founder of Verify, and I'm Gen Z. My generation will become one of the largest spending power of the luxury sector in 5 years. We are tech-savvy, fashion-forward, and love immersive experience. But still 75% of the luxury sales are done offline on their stores. The good news is that bigger brands like LVMH, Gucci, they already started to implement different 3D and AR solutions, and they can see around 94% of the increase on sales. But the 70% of the market are small and medium brands, and they cannot afford to build this type of technology in-house due to different technical and financial constraints. I'm presenting you Verify. So how it works. We just create try-on button on the product page of the brand that we partner. And from the user's perspective, we just need a full body image and we combine it with a product image. So we analyze all the body measurements and also product measurements. So we make sure that the fitting and size recommendation will be fine. But also we are experimenting with outfits so they can understand how it will look like on the brand store. For accessories and shoes, it's another experience. It's much more AR. So you open the camera and in live you can see how the eyewear, how the watches and eyeglasses will look like. So in the market, there are different solutions. There are a lot of solutions in an AR perspective. But now we understand that the much potential and our much more research is going to the clothing direction because in the market still lacking high realistic and very fitting solutions. At this point, we have developed different neural networks which are analyzing all the body measurements. Also, we have experimenting with generative AI fitting process. And also now we have computer vision technology, which is much more precise, doing calculations and body measurements for AR. As a founder, I have background in computer science and engineering. Now I am also part of the Women at Dior program, and we have a mentorship from Dior and LVMH. Also, we have a strong engineers powered by NVIDIA Inception program, and we have a mentorship from NVIDIA, and some of our models are based on their specific models. And also, we have a partnership manager, Elodie, who is based in Paris as me. So now we are much more scaling on a European market. Business model is SaaS, subscription-based. So we charge by try-on and how many users use the product. And we already have 11 brands, 5 of which are our paying customers, and 75K users already monthly using our product. So we already participated in NVIDIA Inception program, and we are part of the Station F program in Paris. and also participated different exhibitions to showcase our technology. So as I already mentioned, we already have product ready, but at the beginning of the EmpoWomen program, the clients were much more on a pilot stage. So at this time, we already managed to have our first paying customers, and we have already 30 brands on a pipeline. So we want to have our break even by the end of the December. And after that, we will raise our first pre-seed round as we were bootstrapped, and we want to scale our strategy and the product on France, Italy, and Spain. So thank you for your attention, and I would be happy to answer any question if you have.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm sorry. Tell us about your competitors and how do you differ? What's your advantage?
Yeah. So we divide them on a couple of groups. The first one is the AR try-on, which technology is not very new, and they were already existing a couple of years ago. And we speak with a Farfetch VP engineer, which acquired one of the AR startups, and they can see analytical-wise that AR works good on accessories and shoes, but it doesn't make any sense on clothes. So that's why we decided to put our research and all our technical knowledge on the clothing side. And in the clothing direction, there are two startups that are working on the same technology. The first one is Doji, which is pretty new, and they pretty similar have technology and they have a good team, to tell honest. But overall, they are on a B2C market. So what they do, they just created an app, and just manual users can use it. Dressix also is a B2B startup, and it's one of our main competitors. But also they're doing too many things, in my opinion. So they are on NFTs, they are on Minecraft, they are everywhere where it's like digital fashion. And we much more position ourselves on this direction to gain our first main traction, after which with our resources and raising funds, we can scale up on different directions.
Sure. No, it's on. Perfect. I want to challenge you a bit on the problem statement, because probably one part of success is really having crystal clear understanding the problem and for whom you're solving it. I think you mentioned like 75% of all the sales for luxury brands happen in store, right? Or something in those lines. I want to hear your interactions, your findings that came out of talking with these luxury brands. And I want to challenge you on this, isn't part of, probably the user experience for at least part of some luxury brands actually like stepping into the store, feeling the product, seeing it, trying it on. I guess it's part of the whole experience, right? So is it really a problem that so many sales happen in store?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. So I will say much more on the experience that LVMH Louis Vuitton is doing on their stores, because recently I have their certificate course and we have a mentorship from them. So the data is they understand that 75% are still there, but they also see the potential of Gen Z, and they see that all of us are doing online experience. So they really appreciate and they want to bring Gen Z and different their customers and segments to the store, but they also understand that they will not get us on a different platforms like other than like social media or e-commerce. So they want to have some interactions in this online stores, but also by the end of it to bring maybe some experience on the stores. But they understand, and like 50% that I said that in 5 years will be Gen Z buying luxury products. It's one of their statistics, and they really do a great job to improving their e-commerce and interactions. So we think that this experience is really important for the smaller ones.
Okay, thank you.
Can you detail on the progress you made in the program? How was Verify before and after?
Yeah. So before the program, we already had a product ready with MVP, and we had 11 brands that we were on pilots. So we had some introductions. But after the program, we started to have much more paying customers because at that time, we much more concentrated on the sales mentorship and everything, and we understand how it is important to not just give it for free to the brands, but also get much more feedback and do it with price. So at this point, we have 5 paying customers, around 3,500 MRR. Also, before the program, we didn't have. It was just pilots with brands, and at that time, we were just building case studies. And now we participated in a couple of trade shows, and which one of them was yesterday, and we have around 30 brands on a pipeline. So we are much more concentrated on these 2 months to close our pipeline and go to break even. And at the time, start our fundraising because the sales strategy that we have now and for the future to gain much more customers, it's pretty different. And for that, we need fundraising and money.
It's time.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Thank you so much. And we have the next one. We have Natalia with Shinrai Robotics.
Hi, my name is Natalia, and as a CEO and founder of Shinrai Robotics, I'm going to switch gears a bit to automation, and in fact delivering the flexible automation with human in the center. Now the problem is that 90% of manufacturers in the European Union are looking for the skilled people, highly skilled people, and they're struggling to find them. And once they train them, they're struggling to keep them. Now, is the future about hiring more and spending more on new hires? Well, we believe that it's about making people more capable. And let me share you a story which is rather surprising from working with our customer recently. In 3 minutes, we managed to turn a regular worker into a skilled manufacturing robotics operator. And we can do much more than that. So what we deliver is we're speeding the reskilling and upskilling by delivering the immersive tooling to the manufacturing workers to make sure that they can set up the robotics without any prior knowledge of coding, that they can learn the processes, and they can also detect defects with 0 mistakes. Now, this is delivered by an exceptional team, where each of us has got more than 15 years of experience in delivering complex projects in manufacturing, logistics, and our CTO particularly in robotics and extended reality applications. And for the last 5 years, we all were doing management and delivering strategy for the global corporations. Now, the offer we're getting to with our customers is the license, software license on subscription basis, with packages delivered towards setting the best needs of our customers. And this is exactly what differentiates us from the competition. We are not just a tool or set of tools. We are the whole package to have the complete one-stop shop for our customers to train their workforce and utilize them in the best way. Now, this is a massively underserved market right now. The manufacturing automation market globally is worth 200 billion euros. European side is half of it, growing at a rate of 8.5% a year. We are particularly targeting the high-mix, low-volume manufacturing in Poland, France, and Denmark because we're leveraging our network and our deep knowledge of these markets. So we are turning that already into traction. We're finishing the pilot projects with Orange. We have a pipeline of the customers, which we're reaching through B2B direct sales, but also we're partnering with the original equipment manufacturers, like robots manufacturers, and the distributors too, to make sure that we can emphasize our sales. So our business projections is in 3 years, we want to reach 85k euros MRR. We're already starting from our first contract. And we're asking for 850,000 euros seed round to make sure that we can get those sales and we can also introduce new features. And as far as the EmpoWomen program goes, we split it into 2 sections, go-to-market and investment. So with the go-to-market, we've interviewed heavily our potential customers. We managed to reach with our mentors to establish our sales channels and create robust strategy. And on an investment side, we've connected with many investors during that program and gotten the great feedback from them to make sure that our solution serves their needs too. So if you want to know any more about it, I welcome any questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation. What does the onboarding process look like for the customer?
So in our solution for automation, the onboarding is very intuitive. You have the set of rules, but there is also a guidance in the system. So once you put an immersive version with the XR goggles, it will guide your system, will guide you what to do to learn to use the system. And we make it intuitive enough.
I was asking about the onboarding which happens before that, AI training, doing the training session for the company.
Yes, so with the training session, we work with our customer to establish the process that they want to train on. And then we ask one of their employees to record what the process is about and step by step. Then we turn it into a very intuitive program that they can be then followed on with the other employees. So really, you don't need to learn that system because it's intuitive enough that you can start using it from the get-go.
Yeah, thank you for the pitch.
Thank you.
I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on how the industry will kind of develop and progress, because you have spent so much more time in like actually talking with all these potential clients and manufacturing companies. So you definitely have more insight. You probably have also seen the famous NVIDIA slide, how AI is progressing, like generative AI, agentic AI, and obviously, well, physical AI. And I'm already seeing startups in my deal flow which are tackling the how to automate manufacturing processes with AI and how to train like physical robots with AI.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Won't that potentially kill the business that you're building?
So I'm not afraid of that, because there are 2 sides. There's one media side, which goes more by Amazon business kind of model, that you have everything automated from the start to finish. But now there is a set of 2 million SMEs and larger companies in Europe that cannot afford to get to that benchmark of Amazon. And in fact, what we are observing largely with our customers is that they're mostly people that are in management position. They very rarely know anything about the automation, and they rather would want to learn, but also they want to have the solution that allows them to make it intuitive, rather than learning all about the process and setting out the process and the knowledge that they would have never, or experience that they wouldn't have yet, because after all they would need to take the decision. So the easier we can make it, the quicker they can implement the automation, and they can have the benefit out of it.
Okay, thank you.
You said you can detail on the go-to-market strategy. So what's the first vertical you are addressing, the first clients you are targeting? How much do you think they will pay for your product?
Yes, so we are targeting the high-mix, low-volume manufacturing. So that means that the customers that have a demand from their own customers to change the products quite often. And this is why they need to reset their automation frequently. And those are, for instance, the contracting manufacturing. So just to give you an example, if you have a printer and you need to assemble the components inside the printer. So this is the kind of manufacturers that we're talking about first. So we have the traction. There's quite a large number of them in Poland. As for the subcontracting, and this is our market, this is where we are set up, and this is our first market that we're getting into.
And who is doing this in your team?
We're ready. We have a specific person dedicated to the sales, our CRO, on the slide, it was Ben. And I'm also supporting that as a CEO to make sure that I can overlook that process. But sales in our team is a very important matter because we know that no business can survive without having customers. So that's why we managed to turn already Orange into the contracted customer, and now we have a pipeline of others that we're discussing with.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have the next one. Ready? Ready. Nisi. Yes.
My name is Nisi Freire and I'm a co-founder of PerAI. Right now we are losing around 9 years of our life in poor health. This goal is unfortunately taken by mostly neurological disorders. What this means is that to close the lifespan and the health span gap, we need to address and tackle these disorders. That's why we do it. The first big problem that we identified was a physical barrier, which is the blood-brain barrier. It's a physical barrier that impedes potential drugs to enter into the brain. More clearly, 98% of potential drugs fail to enter the brain and act where they are needed. To do so, we developed our multi-modular platform called Ageless. What does Ageless do? We take advantage of all known data, from proteins to genes to drug information. We take all of it together, we combine it because getting them together is more useful than a single source. And we already prove it with the first module that we have available, B3 With it, we built a richer database, specifically a 4 times richer database that tackles this problem of molecules entering the brain with 96% accuracy, meaning we can effectively say which molecules go in and which ones don't. We will start our market approach by targeting 3 to 5 anchor clients, of course, evolving along the way and trying to target this 142 billion market of neurological disorders alongside AI-driven drug discovery. To do that, we are a fabulous team of co-founders. Irina Moreira, also seated here, is an internationally recognized AI life sciences researcher. Myself, I bridge the computational and the experimental part. So this translation means that we can indeed prove that computer results translate into health and life-saving. And lastly, but not last, we have José. José brings his business acumen and, of course, his expertise in dealing with multi-million companies. To do that, we positioned ourselves where others can't. We are not a focused company in a single niche, and we are not a static, non-explainable AI ones. We are a central nervous system focused, AI-driven, and also multi-module platform that takes a full-stack approach on this neurological disorders problem. To do that, we developed our 3 approaches on market. To do so, we have partnerships, which means that we can co-develop molecules alongside with pharma. We also have short pay-for-results projects that pharma come, they ask, and they get really quick. And of course, we have software as a service available for prior versions. This year, and up until this year, we already gathered over 1 million in non-dilutive funding. That allowed us to get where we are right now. And it means that we already have a team of 12 people working on this problem. We are opening our seed round next year. And of course, we are delivering our products to the market. Our 4 pillars of success make this a truth, which is we can cross the blood-brain barrier. Inside the brain, we will reach the right targets so the drug works. And of course, toxicity makes sure that we kill molecules computational before they get to animals or humans. And of course, the human relevance with explainable AI in focus. During EmpoWomen, we have to thank everything and everyone involved, especially I would like to thank Amelia, but I would like to bring focus on expanding our business readiness to a product ready to go to market, Also, the maturity of our product, that we are now accepting co-partners to these co-designing partners. And of course, we have now we have a data room available for investors to work with us, also focus on the program. If you want...
If you want to ask questions, yes, go for it.
No, it was only just the beginning. Hopefully, not a big problem. No, you can go. I think it's not.
Yeah, a great presentation. I was wondering, I saw somewhere out there that you have already raised 8.5 million.
The other one. This?
Yeah, 9.5, sorry.
It was from our academia background, and it shows that we can attract lots of amounts of money. Of course, this comes for a long-time career of Irina, and of course.
So is it mostly grants?
In this case, it's academia part. So yes, in the over 1 million that we have as a company, it's grants, awards, and those kind of non-dilutive funding. Yeah.
Okay. I think the hardest question to ask people who are spinning stuff from academia is, how are you planning to transition from being grant junkies to become a real business?
So the idea of per AI is we already made that jump in terms of we incorporated our company. Well, just leave it and you can fold it. We already incorporated 2 years ago, and so I think that the greatest part of this period was to get the business and entrepreneur mindset. And I think that we are getting there. Of course, it's a process and we are always learning. But what it means in practical terms... Okay. What it means in practical terms is that we already have the real world evidence gathered for our data. We already have experimental proof that everything works. So now we need to get to the big jump with the co-designing partners for our product to make sure it works and it's a product worth paying for, of course.
Okay, and when you go there and you speak to pharmaceutical companies, those people are bombarded with companies which are using AI to create new molecules, new structures. How are you standing out, from 100 competitive solutions?
AI is a tool. So everyone in this room can learn AI and do algorithms and build models. Our true core is our data set and our ability to curate data sets. What I said alongside the presentation was that our data set was 4 times a higher diversity and quantity. That means that this is oil for them. The amount of quality that we already gathered and the results they deliver for pharma companies is our moat, of course.
Yeah, thank you for the pitch. I'll just continue the same train of thought which was started by my colleague. So data set, that's kind of your, unique edge, really.
Yes.
How do you gather it? Like from where? Do you buy in additional data? Do you clean it yourself? Do you label it yourself? Do you generate artificial data to train your models? How does it work?
All of the above. So actually, we have public and private data. I would like to focus that we don't train our models only in data that is not realistically experimental and proved in the world. So we have real time points from experimental work, which of course increases the value of the data set. And I heard this afternoon that garbage in, garbage out, we make sure that doesn't happen. And what we proved along academia and now is we consistently deliver better data sets that build better models. With that, we also proved that our predictions work in real labs. So that's also a really sweet thing to present to pharma and to potential partners, is that we already did that and we already proved and we already gave some mechanistic and explainable mechanisms of the drug discovery process. And that's also add value to it. We don't just say we have the better data set, we show that it delivers.
Got it, thank you. I mean, after the event, if you're interested, I can connect you with a company helping to clean the data for healthcare industry, so maybe that might be something interesting.
Who knows? Of course, we are taking partnerships and everything that can improve, but we are doing a really great job at cleaning and managing our data.
Awesome. Thank you.
How did you spend the money that you gather? These ones, the other one that you mentioned.
We didn't. We have still 1.5 years runaway money, so we try to keep a really lean organization and company hierarchy and structure, and that means that most of the money is spent on R&D, and of course conditions for the company to operate, and also presentations, not here directly, but at conferences that can meet partners. But that's mostly where we spend the money. Product development, and now we will be beginning to intake a cohort of design partners to prove our point and to get to market effectively.
And do you have any kind of license or patent for the R&D that you have done until now?
Algorithms are really tough to patent, and we chose not to do that. So everything from that side point is trade secret, and no one knows everything altogether apart from selected people, which is me and Didin, of course. And on the other side, what I would like to say also is that we want, and we have in our pipeline the IP patent for the peptides we discover and for the combination of peptides and new targets. So we have that already figured out in terms of what we will do until when we reach that point, depending if we are developing or co-developing the part of the software that runs and gives that peptide back.
Thank you so much. Tai, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Özgür. I'm the founder of... How? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to start. And that's not my original voice. Okay. I'm the founder of the company TAI, where we develop vital sign radar sensors. So I'm going to start my presentation with the night. Just, made me decide to establish a company. In 2023, 6 February, just a few seconds later, this scene, there's a huge earthquake hits Turkey, and just 10 cities affected, and more than 10 million people is just affected this earthquake, and at least 62,000 people died and injured 138. So it was really the massive earthquake. And the following morning, you will see, we'll see this area, so you could understand that how many buildings just, the corrupted, and how many people is under these rubbles. And these people's waiting for to be rescued by the search and rescue workers. And these search and rescue workers using this vital sign radar sensor to detect any living creature under it. But these sensors depends on the battery. So if it's just if they run out the battery, this means that a couple of people is gonna be just waiting to be saved. They're gonna lose the oxygen enough, so they might lose the life. So here where we comes, TAIS just says that we could just increase the battery life, just enhancing the battery like 60 minutes more. This means we could just save 10 people more, I hope, or at least one. And how we do that? We just develop an artificial shield material consisting that cell, so we could just focus this energy, so we are just enhancing the battery life. Also AI-based detection algorithms and the faster data processing algorithms, so we could just easily detect just the more people it. And we are working together with the Turkish biggest search and rescue association, AKUT. And we test our prototype in their training one. So they are helping us that which part we should improve with our devices. And our team is highly technical. I'm the professor in electrical engineering department, and I have more than 20 years experience in radar sensor. And the other core team members also all have PhDs. And we have, of course, the more engineer in the team. And our target sectors are the search and rescue organizations and the municipalities and the fire departments. And of course, as well as the military search and rescue units. They are just searching for the terrorists or for the the wounded soldiers. And the vital sign monitoring market is anticipated to grow 5.5 billion by 2035. And what we have achieved so far, that we established end of the 2023, in that earthquake year, and we got the first the patent application, and now our first MVP is ready. And we have raised, and today we got one of the acceptance of the national grant. So now we have raised more than 200,000 K, and we had just the investment, and they are mostly from the national grant. And our business plan is just in two ways. We're gonna just license ours to do the big corporate search and rescue or radar sensor developing this, either the hardware or the software part. And now is the EmpoWomen progress. What we have accomplished so far, that we submitted 4 projects, and this is for the business-related one, and one of them is accepted today. We apply for the 1 patent and the 2 strategic collaboration. We are working with this acute and 1 elderly care centers together, and 1 international collaboration established. And the first time, during this EmpoWomen time, we introduced this investor contact, and we had 4 meetings. And now we contact with these 3 potential customers, and they are waiting our product to be ready. And we contact with 2 suppliers to make just our product to be manufactured.
Thank you so much. The time is up.
Okay, so thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the pitch.
Let's
talk product. So the technology that currently you can use multiple different solutions to find people under rubble. The one which you are enhancing is
radar sensor, electromagnetic waves, using just the vital sign, not the other
which
seismic.
Finds breathing and heartbeat under
yes, that one.
Meters of rubble. Okay. How you're enhancing it is really focusing the radar on one particular spot.
Yes, yeah, instead of just spreading all around it, so we are just, expanding.
So really replacing omnidirectional with directional.
Oh, yeah, yes, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay. What are the disadvantages?
Of this one?
Yes. Can't you miss something which is outside of the scope of the beam?
Not for this, the rubble case, because if we are just working in the free space, that could be the disadvantages, but with this, in the rubble case, we are just looking very complex environment. It's like, we should just see directly in front of us, not around it. So we should send all the energy to the across just in front of us, because the spreading around it is already just, lose the power of this signal, because it's already very complex environment. So we could just, just scan like this. We just, instead of just looking all around at the one time, we scan like this. Just, the walk like this and scan step by step.
Okay, I want to challenge you even more on this, if you don't mind.
Sure, please go ahead.
There probably was a reason why initially the engineers came up with the solution as it is today, right?
Yeah.
To use omnidirectional.
That's because in that case they are directional, actually, not that omnidirectional. Omnidirectional one is for the communication channel mostly, like when they are just listening to all around. But for the imaging case, if we know where we are looking for, we prefer the directional one. But if we don't know where to look, like in the general case, like the radar, in that case we choose omnidirectional. But here, we do this directional with a specific material, not just with just enhancing the gain of the antenna. So that's our technology, the new novel technologies.
Okay, and even more questions from my side, sorry.
Okay.
You use existing hardware that's used currently in search and rescue missions.
Just the radar part, we are changing the Wi-Fi sensor part. We are changing this hardware.
Okay, and then there's this AI layer on top that you're
yes,
developing. What about that?
Yeah, this is for the signal processing part. When we just capture the data, then we are just processing it. We are using AI. Just because it is the heartbeat or the respiration is very very low signal, very low SNR. So just to enhance it, we are using this AI, because normal signal processing algorithm might lose too much noise in it. So we are doing AI for this. also we are using the AI just to, to make it faster detection. Just, it's going to be much faster.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I had
so
more
we could
questions,
continue like this, okay.
I'll let others ask some as well.
You mentioned you're an MVP at MVP point.
Yes, yeah.
Do you have any customers?
Now we are just, we are working with this Akku to just, this one. So we are testing in it, but we also just, since I was slow, I missed that part. Like actually that's the application of the healthcare and the elder care centers. And we are using the simpler one, not like that complex one. For now we are with the elder care center. We're gonna demo in their facilities. So we're gonna test that. We just detect this elderly care heartbeat continuously. So we have two. Mm-hmm. Done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have Aiga. The floor is yours.
So, people want products that are safe and natural, but the reality sometimes is frustrating. Current natural and mineral UV filters are considered safe and effective, but the problem is that they usually leave white casts on the skin and the product textures are really heavy. But why cosmetic manufacturers are still making products like this? Because right now there are only two natural UV filters approved. There is zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, both completely white ingredients. And for cosmetic manufacturers, this is a huge formulation nightmare. They have to add extra ingredients in order to mask the whitening effect. Also, studies have shown that synthetic UV filters pose environmental and health risks. Most of the cosmetic manufacturers know that, but they still rely on synthetic ingredients because people also want products that are light and they don't want these white casts on the skin. But there are several regions, like for example Hawaii, where these synthetic ingredients are banned. And we already have spoken with several cosmetic manufacturers, and their message is clear. If regulations force us to switch, we will change, but we need a better solution. Hi, I am Aiga Salmiņa, founder of Skin Future. I have worked on my PhD, and several years I have worked with clay minerals and biologically active compounds, and I try to find the best way how to use them in biomedicine. And right now I have a team with leading Latvia's experts from industry, from academia, and from commercialization field. And together we are working on solutions so cosmetic manufacturers no longer have to choose between environment and people's comfort. So our innovation. Our innovation is natural multifunctional UV filter. We are using clays and polyphenols. Clays found in Latvia. Our research shows that they can protect your skin from harmful UV rays. And this mineral is in brown color. And also this mineral has a really special texture. It's layered. So we can add polyphenols into clay mineral structure. And in this way, our product not only protects your skin from harmful UV rays, but also adds anti-aging, antibacterial, and antioxidant effects. We plan to operate on B2B business model by supplying our ingredient to natural cosmetic brands and also ingredient distributors. Right now, our main competitors are ingredient providers and distributors that use natural ingredients, but in future we hope to work together with them so they include our ingredient in their product portfolios. Sun care industry right now is in turning point. Demand for natural products is growing almost by 5% annually. And about our milestones. So during the EmpoWomen program, we started to test our composite material on epidermal cells. And that allowed us to prove these anti-aging, antibacterial, and antioxidant effects. And also, we last month, we secured new funding, 2,100 euros. And this will allow us to do all the necessary tests, so our innovation will have technology readiness level 6. And and this isn't just about new innovation, but skin cancer is the most common type of cancer, and in 90% of the cases, skin cancer is closely linked to the harmful effects of UV radiation, and it could be simply provided just by using SPF products. So this is about our skin and future.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm a person who highly cares about sun protection, and just as a consumer, future consumer, I wanted to ask, apart from the environmental benefits, how effective this solution would be for sun protection, actual sun protection, in comparison to current cosmetic brands that are dominating the market?
Yes. So our ingredient SPF value, which is one of the most important things for sun care products, will be similar to natural solutions right now, around 30 to 40. It's like really good value for natural sun care products. For example, synthetic UV filters, their SPF value is around 50, but for natural brands, it's okay to have this SPF value 30. And the most important thing is this product will not gonna have the white cast that people don't like.
Thank you for the pitch. Super happy to see a Latvian team among the other teams as well. I'll be as unbiased as possible. Let's talk about scaling the thing. Obviously, it's great that it works in lab environment. It's great that it's effective. What are your thoughts about making this a actual business that can be scaled? Everything from the suppliers to manufacturing process. Will you do it in-house? Will you outsource it? How complex is it? Have you had some ideas or calculations about the costs that will be involved? I just want to hear your thoughts on this.
So we'll have a lot of thinking about to do about this, but about the price. Of course, our ingredient will be more expensive than synthetic ingredients because synthetic ingredients are like less expensive. So the main thing is that how to say so. Like how we are different. We are creating this recipe, how to stabilize these polyphenols into clay mineral structures. So this is our recipe. One way is we can sell this recipe to someone else so they can sell our product. Or we can make this product by ourselves in-house. And we haven't yet decided how we will do that. So yeah. But if we prove that our ingredient works and it's better than natural UV filters, we have a really big opportunity to become a really big part of market because there are only 2 natural UV filters available right now, and there is really good opportunity for new innovations.
Okay, thank you.
Who are you fighting with? Which are your main competitors, and how you plan to win this fight in order to have the first clients?
From ingredient perspective, our main competitors are zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. So at first we will go to brands that use these ingredients, and we will give them our ingredients so they can try our ingredient in their product formulations. And they are really interested in new ingredients because people don't like these white ingredients. So they are actively looking for new ingredients to use in their product formulation. So at first these will be brands that already use natural UV filters.
We are talking about international companies?
Yes, international, or for example, in Latvia, we have this one of the biggest natural cosmetic brands, Madara, and we have already talked with them, and when we will do all necessary tests, they are happy to try our ingredient. But for example, for them, it's really important that our ingredient also have eco certification and Cosmos certification.
That was my second question. Who certify your product in the market?
So yeah, right now we are testing it in epidermal cells, but when we prove all the claims that we are saying, next step is to go for Cosmo certification and Eco certification, because it's really important for natural cosmetic brands.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We have Maria. The floor is yours.
Thank you. No. Am I going on the... Yes. Okay. I'm Maria. I'm CEO and co-founder of Corium Biotech. So while I was here waiting for my time to pitch, I was looking at you, at your shoes, at your bags, and what I see is what I see every time I pitch. I see leather everywhere. Why? Because leather means quality. But this quality comes with a brutal cost when we talk about true luxury items. More than 2 million animals die each year to supply the luxury fashion industry. And while the luxury groups are trying to find alternatives, guess what? There are no alternatives on the market. At Corium Biotech, we believe that true luxury should not require animal sacrifice. And that's why we developed a solution to solve this problem. We are creating exotic skin in laboratory using animal cells. As you can see, our product is the real thing. We have the same microstructure and the same mechanical properties as real leather. We are able to produce 3D patterns, and we already produce 10 per 10 centimeters prototype. Our technology is pending an application, a patent application, and these developments that we've done in the technology are backed by 700k euros in funding, dilutive and non-dilutive. The market is huge, 185 billion of the global raw skin expected in 2029, and last year the top 15 players in luxury leather combined achieve a revenue of 60 billion euros only considering leather goods. And these top clients are not a dream client for us, they are already a reality. We have engaged with 5 of these clients, we have NDAs and MTAs signed with 4 of these clients, and we have a paid sample with 1 of these clients. So it's not just they are looking for alternatives, they are already paying for these alternatives. Comparing to what exists on the market, the alternative, perfect alternative doesn't exist yet because we are able to produce it. Plastic feels very cheap, and plant and microorganism-based leather lacks in durability, and the sustainability is somehow compromised or questioned. Our business model is a B2B. We intend to start selling our bespoke leather to the clients in small packages starting in 2027. This allows the client to test the acceptance of their customers, and from 2029 and onwards, the main revenue stream will come from the licensing of the technology. We are a strong team. Me and Margot, the 2 co-founders, we have a PhD in tissue engineering. Before I worked in the cosmetic, I'm a pharmacist, I worked in the cosmetic science for Chanel and L'Oréal. Our partner João is in charge of everything related with communication and client attraction, and we are backed by an R&D full-time job team and by senior investors in finance, in business, and in marketing strategy. During this year, in the half year in the EmpoWomen program, we were able to validate the incorporation of a new ingredient in our formulations, amplifying our portfolio. We are able to define and validate our scale-up strategy, so we now know how we will turn this into industrial viable, and we had our rebranded concluded. We are Corium Biotech, and we commit to a new era of luxury. I hope that you can commit with us so no more animals have to die in this industry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great pitch. Look, I know there's a big issue when growing synthetic meat that since it doesn't have an immune system, a large part of your production dies out. What similar challenges do you have growing leather in lab?
The problem with the cell-based meat is beyond the immunitary. The biggest problem is the cost, because meat is somehow considered cheap, and the costs of producing something like this are very expensive. So this is the biggest problem in meat. We don't have this problem because we are targeting a luxury segment. For you to have an idea, the skin of a crocodile can go up to 6,000 euros square meter. Right now, our provisions at scale is that we can produce it at 1,000 euros square meter. So we will be cheaper than the real thing, let's say.
Okay, and from a molecular perspective, is it the same as crocodile leather?
It is the same. Why? Because skin, when we transform skin into leather, we get rid of everything that is not fiber. So blood goes away, fat goes away, all the upper part of the skin goes away, and we in the end have a structure of collagen, elastin, and some peptides, and these we replicate in laboratory. So that's why we are able to have the same mechanical properties as the real leather with the same expectancy of durability.
What would a scaled production facility for this look like?
Okay, so what we are envisioning right now, because we don't expect for one client to shift everything from day to night, is to start installing units that allow them to produce 5,000 square meters a year. For 5,000 square meters a year, considering that the client wants to produce only from one species, because our technology is species agnostic, we have our cell bank of different species, but considering that the client only wants one species, we have a machine that we are developing that will install on the client, backed by a unit of bioreactor for the cells to grow. This will cost 1 million euro on average to build, all costs combined, and this will be the entry unit, let's say. Then we can expand the unit if the client wants more, or if the client wants different species or combined species. Virtually, we can do anything.
Really, just a comment from my side, because you don't often see that the sustainable option is also the cheapest option. So yes. Honestly, I would put this in a bold font in front of like the most important slide that you have. So definitely add it. But jumping to the question, do you foresee any issues, bottlenecks, technical hurdles of using your grown skin to actually manufacture something? Will all the properties be exactly the same as with regular
If the client
skin?
wants them to be the same, because they can also be different. That's the richness of the technology. For example, right now we are working with one of these clients because they wanted to have something more elastic than the natural thing, and we can provide it as well, combining different ratios.
Insane. Insanely good, I mean.
So yeah, but in terms, I think that the main, I'll not say problem, but hurdle that we can have is the acceptance on the end customer. We believe, because we're working with these big clients and they are really looking for alternatives and they are really engaging with us, our experience says that they already have data that supports the fact that the clients will want to buy this. At least one thing they know, they don't want to buy what they have anymore. But this is the biggest, uncertainty right now.
Yeah, right, because, people are willing to pay insane amounts of money for crocodile skin, but will they be kind of willing to pay the same amount for lab-grown crocodile skin?
What we believe is yes, based on the research that we've made, they want to pay the same price if it stays exclusive. So honestly, the fact that it's cheaper is not, on this industry, is not,
it's not a good thing.
For the client, yes, because they will put higher margins, but I don't believe that the product will come out on the market at lower costs.
Thank you.
You know, they're actually paying the same for lab-grown diamonds. So
yeah,
valid point.
but the lab-grown diamonds are a bit different because in terms of creation, there are no living organism on it, right? So we imprint this richness, and we do things like, for instance, we are building chameleon skin. Chameleon is an animal like this. We can build skins bigger, so it's something that doesn't exist yet. So it brings an extra, I'll say, exoticness to the.
Actually, let me ask you a funny question.
Yes.
Because you seem to know a lot about the industry. Do you know of a company called Colossus Biotech?
No.
They're basically using certain molecules to reconstruct extinct animals, like mammoths, dodos.
Okay, I know the concept. There's one in the UK that are trying to bring a live dinosaur skin as well.
Yeah.
That bypasses my competence.
I would like to see some dodo skin.
That I don't know.
I would love to keep this discussion, but we can't.
Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you.
We have the final startup, Andrea. The floor is yours. A bit of slides further, and almost yes. Thank you.
My name is Andrea Trigo, nurse and CEO of Enhanced Fertility. We are on a mission to bring 1 million babies into the world. Over 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with infertility. I am not alone. 1 in 6 couples are infertile. However, less than 2% can access the care they need. The reality is there's too many people needing fertility care, but we don't have enough doctors to meet the demand. Why? Diagnosis is slow, takes over 3 years. Once you're diagnosed, it takes over 6 months just to get ready for treatment. And once you get to treatment, this is trial and error with low success rates. From testing to treatment, every step of the reproductive health pathway is blocked. And I know that because I've been a nurse for over 20 years. My co-founder and CTO, Frank, has been in tech for over 15. We are both second-time founders with 1 exit. We have a team of 8 in the sector-specific advisory board. As experts, we know this is a big market. We know that it's growing. But we also know that if we unblock the market to everyone who is still waiting for treatment, this market is actually 420 billion. So we unblock the market with a full-stack AI solution that automates patient onboarding, diagnosis, and reimbursement coding, and speeds up time to start treatment from the current 3 years to less than 30 days. How does it work? We have a software that clinics use to trigger the patient onboarding. Patients complete clinical history online and remote testing anywhere in Europe, either a remote island or a big European city. You can be tested, and in 48 hours, our proprietary AI model automatically suggests the diagnosis and coding to the clinicians. More than 100 tests and scans are automated. The results analysis is automated. The risk factor and triaging of patients is automated. The diagnostic coding is automated, and the doctor's notes are automated. The result, clinics can convert patients to treatment much faster, open up capacity to treat even more patients, and increase their revenues without increasing costs. Clinics are paying us a software license. Patients pay for the tests requested by their clinic, and at scale, 500 clinics equals 65 million ARR, which we'll get to by 2030. Compared to the competition, we have cracked not only onboarding and coding for women, which they do, but we also do that for men. It would take them more than 2 years to catch up with us. Our software is also immediately useful not only in fertility space, but also in gynecology, andrology, and general practice. Over the last 6 months with EmpoWomen, we have closed 5 new B2B contracts. We have onboarded 62% more patients and increased our revenues by 115% compared to the previous 6-month period. We have developed and validated a new diagnostic model that we compared doctors and nurses diagnosing patients with and without our model. We have received a bit of investment, 1 million, and we have key partnerships for customer acquisition with Meditex, which unblocks 200 clinics, Bayer unlocking prescriptions and Unilabs direct to consumer. We're going to the US in 2 weeks. So if you are passionate about this mission and solving the global fertility crisis, join us and let's bring 1 million babies into the world.
All right, but how do we know it works?
Well, we already are working with more than 20 clinics across Europe. We have actually 34 babies actually born already. Yes.
Okay, but have you done like what do you call the golden standard for testing, blind tests?
So with the diagnostic platform, yes. So we've tested with doctors diagnosing patients the normal way and with our enhanced DX. And what we've noticed is that doctors missed a lot of the diagnosis when they were doing it the traditional way. So, and that is in line with research. When you go to the doctor, there's around 60% chance that the diagnosis they give you is actually the correct diagnosis. So, and that of course impacts on the treatment that you're going to get and the outcomes you get. When we're talking about fertility, that matters a lot, especially because women's fertility declines with age. So it might be the difference between you having babies or not having babies at all. So with our platform, they were able to identify more diagnostic codes for our patients. They did that in a fraction of the time and with a reduced mental load.
Thank you for the pitch. I want to kind of dive deeper on the business model part.
Yeah.
It seems now you're focusing more or less on the B2B side, right?
100%.
Signing contracts with clinics, expanding kind of your network there. I want to hear your thoughts on and reasoning why that is more attractive path versus focusing on like pure B2C play and really like targeting just individual customers and scaling that way.
Yeah, well, since COVID, lots of people got used to being tested remotely at home. And we saw that, especially in the US and UK, lots of companies entering that space. We saw a lot of investors giving their millions to them. And what we see now is that the cost of acquiring a lead of someone who is potentially healthy, and you need to constantly educate them on social media, they might have a problem. The cost of acquiring them is more than what they are willing to spend on that test. So those companies are in actually a lot of big problems to try and get out of that loop of spending investor money to a more financially stable business model. For us, we decided from the get-go that we would go direct through clinics. We know that there's a lot of patients who actually need testing, who actually need a diagnosis, and at the moment are not able to get it. That also means that for us, the cost of acquiring a patient is close to zero because the clinic constantly has new patients who need testing.
The clinic is essentially doing this sales part for you.
Exactly. So they use the software, either standalone or integrated with their EHR, and they trigger the patient. They select which tests the patient needs. And what we see is that the patient is more willing to buy something they know the doctor has prescribed, and they know they are buying exactly what needs to be bought and tested ahead of treatment. So we see us going from fertilities into private gynecology practices, andrologies, working with pharmaceuticals to unlock prescriptions, working with the EHR providers, which is one of our key partnerships for customer acquisition, that will make us like a default onboarding through their EHR and opening up to over 200 clinics. That is the route we want to go because we want to get to profitability much sooner rather than later.
So you're really giving clinics superpowers and the ability to perform these tests super quickly.
Exactly. So we have a network. So in the UK, for UK patients, so we may have, for example, a clinic here in Europe, and we have a patient in the UK, and the patient basically is tested from the UK. So we have shipment, fulfillment, and lab in the UK. We have it in Ireland and Spain for the whole of Europe, and then we're opening in a couple of weeks one in San Diego for the US patients.
Cool, thank you.
That was my question. How are you going next week in the UK, in the US?
So we are spending a month in the US.
We have a partner there?
Yeah, we have a partner. So the biggest blocker in the US is that in every state you have to have a physician of record. So you may have a doctor who is practicing in New York but has a patient who is out of state, and he's not allowed to prescribe tests for that patient because the patient is in a different state. So the play that we're making in the US is working with a lab who has already that feature embedded. So all the tests that are requested automatically have a physician of record for the state that the patient is in, and we're entering. So instead of going with our tests, we go with their tests as a white label solution, and we just have to go with the software as a play, which is much easier to entry. In the US, we'll be class 2 510K exempt, so it's easier to enter.
And the insurance company in the US will gonna cover the costs with what you're doing?
Exactly. So patients are already doing the tests. So the biggest advantage for the clinics when it comes to the insurance part is that after consultation, the doctors have to write the reimbursement codes in order to claim back. So with our platform, all those codes are automated. So the clinic knows that they are charging the right codes to the insurance provider and getting as much as they can for that medical act. And that's one of the biggest things in the US is the reimbursement coding. Automated, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
On this note, there is no more startups coming from that door, but I still need the clicker. Woo! Clicker, clicker, clicker. Well, I will. Okay, let's try again. On this note, there's no more startups coming from that door. Yay! Yay! And this is almost a wrap-up. It's a full wrap-up for all the pitches. And now there's just a little bit of organizational moments. I'm inviting, meanwhile, Mārtiņš on stage as well. The juries will proceed into the closed room with no sunlight anymore, where we will have a little bit of the discussion. It should sound threatening. I'm giving the floor to Marta for startups to get a little bit of information after, while we're walking with the jury. And we're staying here and waiting for a little bit of food to come, which is not only bread, because apparently not all the kitchens will be open this time. If we will pack things and go somewhere, we might not get the food, so we're bringing the food to this place, okay? I put the jacket, I'm giving the floor to Marta. I'm taking the juries with me, with no microphone, yes.
There we go.
Yes, and I am taking the juries with me, and we're...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, it's just a wrap up for tomorrow aspects. As you know, tomorrow we will be at How to Web. Well, tomorrow and the day after. And even you have this information, you know when you should be at the booth. So tomorrow we will start with this distribution, and the day after with that one. We still have one slot for free in case some of you will be in the second day in the afternoon. You are more than welcome to join the spot. And also, important remarks, please don't forget your tickets for tomorrow. You should have received an email today with the ticket, so please make sure. If you don't have it, let me know and I will inform the organization people. You can bring all the materials that you want to the booth, but please take care of your things and leave the booth empty when you finish your stay. Of course, you can meet there people, investors, whatever. And if you are not in the booth at that moment, you can also meet them around, and then you can move to another place. And as you know, we will have the award ceremony tomorrow in the afternoon. The hour was changed, so will be at 5. You will be informed tomorrow about the winners, so you have to wait a little bit. And the 4 winners will have the opportunity to pitch. In case you want to make the pitch, the micro will be open for the winners. Congratulations for today. I have to be honest, and I checked the interviews that you did in the evaluation process. And I want to say that if at that moment you had everything clear in your mind, today you demonstrate that, okay, you are doing a really, really good job. So congratulations, and now have fun with the food when arrived, and just relax for tomorrow. Thank you.